keep asking for a better life, begging God for blessings. But let me ask you something. Have you proven to him you deserve any of it? Because I've learned God doesn't bless the laziness. He does not reward doubt. He don't hand out strength to people who can't carry weight. You want peace? You have to earn it. You want freedom? You have to be willing to suffer for it. You want the girl, the house, the car, the legacy? Then prove to God you're the man worth giving it to. There are millions of men out there begging and pleading to God, asking for the same things you're asking for. The only difference is he's going to give it to those who show that they want it through their action. You know why most people never make it? It's not because they are stupid, and it's not because God forgot about them. It's because they never took themselves seriously. They never got up when it hurt. They never kept going when nobody was clapping. And worst of all, they never became someone God could trust with more. You keep praying for opportunities, but when was the last time you worked like he already gave it to you? That's how it works. God gives according to what you can carry, and right now you barely carrying yourself. So tighten up. It's time to fix your habits. Show some more discipline. Move with purpose, and you need to do it every day. Prove to God you're not just another man who wants more. Prove to him you are a man who can handle more. You ever look in the mirror and feel like you lost a piece of yourself along the way? Like you were supposed to be more by now? Not in a cocky way, just that quiet, honest feeling you get at night when no one is watching. That version of you, the one you were meant to be, he's still there, but you ain't gonna meet him in this noise. I dare you to disappear. Bro, there's a fucking helicopter flying on top, but you ain't gonna meet him in this noise. I dare you to disappear. Not to run, not to hide, but to finally go within, to turn down the world and turn up your soul. You've been out here overstretching yourself very thin for people who don't even ask if you're good. You've been chasing dopamine, scrolling past your calling, telling yourself tomorrow I'll be better. But it's been years, so I need you to disappear. Disappear to heal, to think, to rebuild. Go get strong again, not just in the gym, in your discipline, in your word, and your habits, so you can get more done throughout the day and not feel tired. Habits that gives your future kids a man to be proud of. This ain't about being cool, it's about being real, because you know where this road leads if you keep drifting. That slow spiral into regret, into softness, into becoming a man you can't respect. Some people won't understand why you disappear. They'll think you're acting different. They are right. You're done explaining yourself, done repeating patterns, done living life on mute. So I dare you, go ghost, go silent, go dark, and come back so focused, so grounded, so yourself that the world don't recognize you, because you finally found the man you were always meant to. You don't need a gun to ruin your life. One emotional decision is enough. One moment of pride, one reaction you didn't check, one feeling you listened to like it was law, and suddenly you've burned bridges you needed. You've said things you can't unsay. You've broken things that can't come back. And the worst part is you knew better. You just didn't pause. But I've been there. I've let my anger speak for me. I've let my pain turn me cold. I've made move out of insecurity, not out of strategy. And every time I've paid for it. So listen very carefully, because when you make moves out of your emotions, you don't just hurt others, you sabotage yourself. People talk about being in touch with their emotions. That's cool, but being in control of them, that's where the power is. Everybody thinks stoicism means being numb, but it's never that. It's about controlling your emotion. It's about knowing your fire and not letting it burn your damn house. You feel anger, good, use it. You feel pain, then welcome to fucking manhood. Hold it, learn from it, but don't let it run your life. You're not an animal. You're not a child. You are a man, and the world doesn't care if you felt like showing up. It just know you did. So yeah, feel it all, but respond like a man who's been through hell and still chooses discipline. Control your damn emotions. There are things you were supposed to know long before you became a man, but your father never told you. Maybe because he didn't know, maybe because he wasn't there. Maybe life broke him before he could break it down for you. But you were meant to be taught not just how to survive, but how to carry yourself like a man who commands respect, even when no one's watching. He was supposed to teach you that strength isn't in your fist, it's in your discipline. It's in saying no to the world when it tries to pull you in every direction. He was supposed to teach you that that being a man isn't about chasing women. It's about building a life so solid they chase the peace you carry. He should have told you that people pleasing is slavery, that a man with no boundaries will be used, then blamed, that the world doesn't reward good intentions, it rewards results. He should have warned you about comfort, how it feels good now, but it kills you slowly, that a man who doesn't suffer on purpose will suffer by default. So maybe he didn't teach you, but that doesn't mean you stay blind. You've got breath in your lungs. That means you've still got time to rewire, to unlearn softness that was never meant for men like you. Because the truth is, you were born to lead, not beg. You were born to protect, provide, build, and sharpen other men. You don't need your father's permission. You need your own decision. If no one taught you how to become a man, then let pain do it. Let failure do it. Let solitude do it. You may not have had a father, but now you have a reason. You were sent here to end the cycle, to raise sons who never asked, why didn't someone tell me? Raise the men you never met, and die knowing you built a bloodline that will never go blind again. Comes a point where the version of you that keeps getting disrespected has to die. Not improved, not tweaked, executed. Because that version of you, the people pleaser, the overly emotional, the soft-spoken, the I just want peace version, he's the reason they talk to you like that. He's the reason she left. He's the reason you're both confused and sitting in silence pretending everything's okay. I had to marry him. Not once, not twice, but over and over again. Every time I caught myself explaining my worth, every time I chose comfort over confrontation. You think you're being a good man because you're taking the high road, but no, you're just scared of confrontation. You're scared to become the monster you were born to be. You wear kindness like it's a mask, hoping the world will play fair, but you know it. It only respects power and your strength. And here's the hard truth. Your wisdom means nothing until you've tasted chaos. Your discipline means nothing until you stared down temptation in the face and did not. Let me ask you something. You ever notice the guy who's always available never gets chosen? You are there when they need you. You check in, you help out, you make time. And when it's your turn, it's all silence. When it's your birthday, it's forgotten. And when you finally speak up, they say you're too much. Let me tell you what's happening. You're not too much. You're too nice. And people don't respect nice, they use it. I used to think being liked is the same thing as being respected, but it's not. In fact, it's the fastest way to become invisible. You see, the more you try to please, the more they test you. The more you fold, the less they listen. People don't hear you when you're soft, they hear you when you stand on something. And I know you probably think you're doing it right. You don't want to hurt anyone, you want to be the good guy. You want to be the safe choice. But here's the truth. If you never say no, your yes means nothing. If you never disagree, people assume you have no spine. And if you never draw the line, don't get mad when they step on you. You trained people to treat you like this. You allowed it, and for too long, because you were scared to be alone. You were scared to lose them. You were scared to get into a confrontation. You were scared to speak your mind and risk being misunderstood. But listen, the moment I started moving like I had options, like I actually respected my own time, my own space, my own path, that's when everything changed for me. Not that I became louder, I just became clear with my stance and my boundaries. Not that I became rude, but I stopped being afraid to walk away. And people feel that. They know who they can play with and they know who they can't. So here's the part you need to hear, the solution, the fucking cure. You don't get respect by accident. You earn it by how you move, what you allow, what you walk away from. You don't need to beg for it. You don't need to prove anything. You need to mean what you say and act like it. You're not becoming toxic. You're just having boundaries and becoming solid. Don't listen to nobody telling you otherwise so they can take advantage of you. No more shrinking yourself. No more overthinking. No more playing nice while your self-respect gets slaughtered in the background. Be calm. Be firm. And when something doesn't feel right, walk. War is simply two sides clashing. Think of World War II. Whether it's over land, resources, influence, or power, life is the exact same. Everything you want, another man wants. The dream house, someone else grinding for it. That business success, someone else is building right now. That influence, that wealth, that freedom, you're not the only one after it. And there is no participation trophies in war. You either win or you lose. The weak hesitate, the strong take action. The battlefield of life doesn't care about excuses, only results. so. To win, you must be the last one standing. And to be the last one standing, you must never quit. This is urgent. You need to move with conviction, with discipline, and with unstoppable energy. Every day wasted is a day your enemy is getting stronger. The moment spent doubting is the moment someone else is taking action. Everything is war, and in war, hesitation is death. Attack, win, dominate. Hundreds of years ago, a man named Machiavelli sat down and wrote the truth about life. He didn't waste time writing about how the world should be. He wrote about how the world really is. And what he saw was this: good men, nice guys, the ones who gave too much, who forgave too easy, who wanted to be liked more than they wanted to be respected. They didn't win the girl, they didn't keep the kingdom. They didn't live the life they dreamed about. They were replaced by men who were willing to be strong first and kind later. Machiavelli said, it's better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Not because fear is cruel, not because fear is reliable. Love fades when it's tested, but fear, it reminds people where the line tore. Being a nice guy without strength is like writing promises in water. If you want to be respected, you have to show the world that you are not to be played with. Only then your kindness will mean something. Build yourself into someone they can't afford to lose. Build power in silence. Build respect through action. Be good when it serves you, but be feared when it protects. Nice guys, let me remind you, the world doesn't care how nice you are. It moves for men who take, not ask. Being a nice guy is just a slow way to disappear. History doesn't remember polite. It remembers powerful commanders, killers, builders, kings, and those who rebelled. Nice guys trade their fire for approval. They hold doors for people who walk all over them. They text good morning while the other guy takes her soul. And deep down, they know it. They feel the weight, the fake smiles, the missed chances, the quiet resentment that's building inside of them. Being liked is not a skill, it's a trap. This world moves when you do, not when you wait, not when you are hoping to be noticed. The crown doesn't go to the nicest. It goes to the coldest men who stayed warm on the inside, but never bowed down on the outside. If you are always putting people first, saying yes when you want to say no, you're probably stuck in a cycle of people pleasing. And over time, it leaves you feeling overwhelmed. The good news is you can break the cycle by learning to set strong boundaries. Let me show you how before it ruins your life, because every part is very important. First, understand that a boundary is simply a line that you draw to protect your time, your energy, and your peace. It's not about pushing people away, it's about protecting yourself. You have the right to say no when something doesn't feel right. Boundaries are a form of self-respect. Next, get clear on what you need. Are you feeling burned out, stressed out? Take a moment to think about what you need to feel good and be your best self. When you know what you need to set boundaries that protects it. Then start saying no. It doesn't need to be complicated. If something crosses your boundaries, just say, I'm sorry, I can't do that right now. No need to explain yourself. Saying no is about protecting your peace, not being rude. Now stand firm. Some people will try to push your boundaries, and that's okay. You need to be strong and consistent. If you give in once, they'll expect it again. But when you stick to your boundaries, people will learn to respect them. Finally, take care of yourself. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Setting boundaries is a way to protect your energy so you can keep showing up for yourself and others without burning out. Setting boundaries is how you say yes to yourself. When you start protecting your time and energy, you'll become stronger, more confident, and in control of your life. Start today. Set that boundary before it ruins your peace. They don't like you. They just like that you never say no. You laugh at jokes that are not even funny. You apologize for existing. You say it's fine while boiling inside in anger. Till one day you snap, you explode. Not because you're dramatic, but because you've been silent for too long. Stop people pleasing. Start saying no without a reason. Leave when you're tired. Set clear boundaries. Stand and defend them. Because if kindness means betraying yourself, it's not kindness, it's submission. And you are not born to submit to men, only to God. What are the 7 habits you think hold men back from reaching their full potential? I'm letting you know the 7 traps to watch out for. The habits that's turning boys into wimps instead of men. If you're feeling stuck or unfulfilled as a man, it may be time to take a hard look at these common habits that could be holding you back. One of the main habits that's keeping you weak is the lack of self-discipline. Self-discipline is the cornerstone to success. Many men struggle to stay focused and motivated. Without self-discipline, it's easy to procrastinate, give in to temptation, and fall short of our goals. To get self-discipline, start by setting clear, achievable goals, creating daily routines, practice mindfulness to stay present and focus on the task at hand. We don't need to be scrolling on TikTok or YouTube Shorts for 3 hours every day. The next habit that keeps men weak is negative self-talk. As a man, we're supposed to feel like we can conquer the world. Our thoughts have powerful impact on our emotions and behaviors. Unfortunately, many men engage in negative self-talk, constantly criticizing themselves and undermining their self-esteem. To combat negative self-talk, challenge your negative thoughts, replace them with positive affirmation, and take action on the goals that you set, because they go hand in hand with self-discipline. Once you start gaining confidence from constantly taking action and seeing results, it's hard to sit there and have negative self-talk. You'll tell it to shut the fuck up. Listen very carefully to the next one, because I know how much it holds a lot of people back, so it might be affecting you as well, and it's the fear of failure. Fear of failure can paralyze us, preventing us from taking risks and pursuing our dreams. However, failure is a natural part of the learning process and an opportunity for growth. To overcome fear of failure, reframe failure as a learning opportunity. Set realistic expectations and focus on the lessons learned rather than dwelling on the mistakes. We don't have all the answers. The best of the best had to make way more mistakes than the rest of us to become the best. The next habit that's keeping men feeling weak is avoidance of emotion. You may not have expected this on the list, but many men are taught to suppress their emotions, believing that showing vulnerability is a sign of weakness. However, avoiding emotions can lead to stress, anxiety, and relationship problems. And you don't want to be bald, bro. Well, if you're bald already, my bad, bro. I need to laugh at you. I still got a full set of hair. I hope I don't become bald soon. Fuck. Instead, embrace your emotions, seek support when needed, and practice self-care activities such as meditation, journaling, or talking to a therapy. I'm not telling you to sit home and cry or pop off or go off on somebody. I'm telling you to proactively learn to control your emotions and go through your emotions and not acknowledge them. Don't put them aside and lock them up in a basement, because it's going to turn you into a giant bomb that you do not want to deal with. When it does happen, you will not expect it. That's why a lot of nice dudes become killers all of a sudden. They didn't even want to do that, but they can't control their emotions. It has become such a burden, such a big problem. It becomes too impossible to control. The key is to become a whole person who's making progress at life financially, physically, mentally, emotionally. So you need to make sure you are not just going to the gym and then suppressing your emotions. Make sure you're not making money and then you're not hitting the gym and then you're suppressing your emotions and then you're snapping on people. You need to become a whole person, a stoic person, a great man, a man who's ready to take over the world at a moment's notice because his family is at risk. The 5th habit that's keeping men weak is the lack of purpose. Without a sense of purpose, life can feel empty and meaningless. It's important for men to identify their values, passions, and long-term goals to find purpose and direction in life. Take time to reflect on what truly matters to you and align your daily actions with your values and aspirations. The next one is more important than ever due to how cool it has become to make unhealthy lifestyle choices. The problem is a healthy lifestyle is essential for physical and mental well-being. Yet many men neglect their health due to poor diet, lack of exercise, and substance abuse. You're going to eat that burger that's going to make you feel depressed, and you're going to be too depressed to go to the gym, and then you're going to skip the gym, which is going to make you sick and feel more depressed. And then to feel better, you're going to smoke some weed or take some LSD or some crack or some alcohol or beat your meat so you can feel happy and then do the cycle again. You need to get to a point where you are an adult and you need to start making healthy life choices that's going to help you 2, 3, 4 years down the line. You will not see the result in a day, but I promise you, if you stick to it, 3 months, 4, 5, 6 months from now, a year from now, 3 years from now, you will be in a much better place. You will be feeling stronger. You will be looking stronger. You will be looking like a man instead of a cave dweller, instead of a basement dweller, instead of the weak little arms, bro. You will have something to show for it. All right, I'm going off course. I didn't want to snap on anybody, but you need to start taking steps to prioritize your health by exercising regularly. No more of that processed junk, getting enough sleep, and avoiding harmful substances, bro. It's not beating your meat. The last one is resistance to growth. I get it. Change is uncomfortable. Many men resist to step out of their comfort zone and embrace new opportunity for growth. However, personal growth requires us to challenge ourselves and pursue new experiences. Embrace the discomfort, be open to change, and commit to lifelong learning and self-improvement. I say all this to say change does not happen overnight. However, by recognizing these habits and taking proactive steps to overcome them, we as men can unlock our full potential and live a more fulfilling and meaningful life. It's time to break free from these limiting habits and become the best versions of ourselves. With commitment and perseverance, you can overcome these habits and create a life filled with purpose, passion, and joy. It's never too late to start, so take the first step today towards a better future.
People pleasing is ruining your life. You say yes when you want to say no. You put others first and leave yourself with nothing. You break your back to keep everyone happy. But the problem is they don't care about you the way you care about them. And the longer you keep this up, the more you'll lose yourself. If you want to take back control, you need to stop people pleasing right now. The first thing you need to understand is that people pleasing is not kindness, it's fear. You're afraid of conflict, afraid of rejection, afraid of being seen as selfish. But the irony is, the more you people please, the more they take advantage of you. You're not gaining respect, you're being used. You need to realize that saying no doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you someone who values their time and energy. If someone gets upset because you set boundaries, they don't respect you. They only respect what you do for them. And that's not someone worth pleasing. Stop tying your self-worth to how much you can do for others. You're not here to be liked by everyone. You're here to live your life on your terms. If someone doesn't like you because you're not bending backward for them, let them go. Start focusing on what you want. Every time you people please, you're putting their needs above your own. But ask yourself, how many of these people are doing the same for you? Probably none. So why are you breaking yourself for people who wouldn't even pick up the pieces? Listen very carefully. If you keep people pleasing, you'll wake up one day bitter, exhausted, and empty. You'll realize you spent your whole life making others happy, sacrificing your own peace, and by then it'll be too late to fix it. Stop people pleasing. Stop chasing approval. Start respecting yourself enough to choose you first. Because if you don't, no one else will. Being a people pleaser is a slow death. You sacrifice your time, your energy, and your dreams just to keep everyone around you comfortable. And in return, what do you get? Nothing but frustration, exhaustion, and a deep feeling that your life isn't even your own. It's time to stop. Because if you don't, this endless cycle of giving will leave you empty, bitter, and invisible. The harsh truth is people pleasing comes from insecurity. You think if you do enough for others, they'll finally value you. But the problem is they don't. They take what you give and move on. They don't see your sacrifices. They don't even think about you once they've gotten what they need. You've convinced yourself that saying no is selfish. But what's more selfish? Protecting your peace or letting people drain you without a second thought? Saying no isn't selfish. It's survival. If you want to live a life that means something, you have to stop pouring yourself into people who don't pour back. Listen to this part very carefully. The worst part is that people pleasers think they're being kind, but in reality, they're teaching others that their boundaries don't matter. Every time you let someone take from you, you're telling them it's okay to keep taking. You're creating the very disrespect you hate. Start asking yourself this: what do you want? Not what they want.
want, not what makes them happy, what makes you happy. If you don't know, it's because you've spent so much time living for others. You've forgotten how to live for yourself. You need to realize that you can't please everyone, and trying will only make you miserable. Some people will be angry when you stop saying yes to everything. Let them. That anger is just that proof they never respected you in the first place. This is your life, and you get one shot at it. Stop giving pieces of yourself to people who don't deserve it. Learn to say no. Learn to stand up for yourself, because if you don't, you'll wake up one day and realize you've spent your entire life pleasing others while losing yourself.